Hello everyone, welcome with Engineer Ather. We will talk about today the float. So let's go. The float is a thing that goes under the water, like submarine ROV, like this. So let's go. What is the float bouncy? A float bouncy engine changes the float density by moving the air from inside the float to outside the float. So this changes the displaced water volume. It will allowing the float to sink or rises without using structures. This is a float bouncy engine. So let's go to the second page about documentation of the float. What meant by documentation of a float? So we need people to make the floats. Like for example, design overview. We need people who design overview to take us to make the float. So let's go. We need design overview, mechanical design, electrical design, view selection, safety analysis, writing diagram, risk assessment. This is the documentation of the float. So let's go to the second page. Third page, development of the float. 2022, 60 points. This is the first at 2022. This is the first year the mate float appeared. In mate competition, the float appeared at 2022. So let's go. What happened? It gave us 60 points if you made. The main ideas was design a vertical profiling float. It moves up and down automatically. The float moves up and down automatically. It collects data, it sends the collected data. Then we explain the judge how the bouncy engine works. So let's go to the fourth page. Now 2023. It was the same, but we add some questions, something. 60 points. Improve depth control in the app, improve the documentation, improve reliability, improve communication between the float and the surface station. This is at 2023. So let's go to the fifth page. At 2024, we changed some things. Like for example, the points. It was 60, now it's 70. So develop the float further, improve the float's design, demonstrate how the bouncy engine works, product demonstration, technical report. This is at 2024. So let's go to the next page. 2025, 70 points, the same. Perform a vertical profile, send data, draw versus depth, time graph, calculate energy consumption. So the fifth, seventh page about 2026 is the year now. So let's go. It was 70 points, but we start from the surface area. The second, the to a depth of 2.5 meters. Hold for 30 seconds and ascend to 0.4 meters below the water surface. Send the data, operate using thrusters for vertical movement. We make like this twice. So let's watch a movie about the missions of other floats. So let's go. So this is the float and this is the ROV. The ROV takes the float and put it further in the middle of the water. Let's make the data plus 5 points. So this 5 points. So when the float goes up 40 centimeters, it will hold 30 seconds, equal 5 points. is the bouncy engine by 10 points. $2.5 meters, again like I said twice. If it goes up the water, it will minus 5 points. Using bouncy engine 10, if you different mention, it will go 5. So this is the, oh, it collects the data, so it take 10 points, then we make the graph. Judge see it, he give us 10 points. This is the float mission of the video. So let's go to the second page. Now I will tell you, I will teach you how the float works. So for example, this, I know it's a water bottle. For example, this a float. The float there is a pressure sensor that measures the centimeters and between the float and the ground, or the float and the surface area. So let's go. There is a pressure sensor and there is a motor. The motor grab this and push it up, grab it up, pull it up, and the float sinks. If the motor make this down like this, so the float rises up. This is the float. So let's go to the second thing. The float uses a battery to 12 volt, 3 ampere to 5 ampere. But the fuse makes 5 ampere. And here in the float, it uses a stepper motor. ESP32 5 volt, a buck converter 12 to 5 volt. Why a buck converter? Because the battery uses only 12 volt and the ESP32 uses 5 volt, so we won't need 5 volt only. So the buck converter converts from 12 volt to 5 volt. And this is the session of the float. So do not forget to subscribe, and goodbye.